Hello guys. How is it going? It's Renata here, and I'm super excited because I get to share an amazing person that I am collaborating with on a brand new workshop. And this amazing woman is Sam. She is a PT, and I'm just going to tag her right now so that she can come and join us here in this live. There we go. So hopefully she will be with us very, very soon. Awesome. Okay. So if you're here, please say hi. If you're catching the replay, please say #replay. I'd love to hear from you and see who is joining us today because this is such an important topic for women. We are going to be talking about intuitive health and how we can use our cycles to help to guide our nutrition and our fitness. And so this is what Sam and I are collaborating on because it's really important for us to get the word out for women to use this amazing, deeply held wisdom from their cycles and understand how it can really benefit them for improving their overall health and wellness. And so this is really, really cool because it's something that both Sam and I have unbeknownst to us, been working on for the past several months or even years, and we've understood separately how important this can be. So we're coming together to chat about that more together in this workshop. Okay, Sam, so she's here trying to connect. Hi, Mackenzie. How's it going? Okay, I'm adding Sam in, and then we'll be able to talk about this and how she came to find this out and why it's so important to share it. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh, Mackenzie said you and Dr. Sam are a dream team. I'm like,
Mackenzie, I was just messaging her earlier. I'm so grateful for her for introducing us.
She did. So honestly, we couldn't do this without Mackenzie. So thanks, Mac.
Yeah,
you the best.
She's the best.
Awesome. Well, let's get started because I know you've been in this group for a little while, but you haven't really been able to share with people who you are and what you do. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about yourself now.
Thank you. Yeah, so I am a virtual physical therapist and coach. And yep, Mac, you get all the credit. And I specialize in helping women specifically who have been dealing with back pain for a long time, as well as pelvic floor issues, which they often go hand in hand. And really my method is I'm so passionate about helping women just really learn to connect with their body and learning that pain signals, pelvic floor issues are really just our body's way of trying to get our attention. It doesn't necessarily mean something's broken, that we're damaged in some way, that we're never going to get better. It's just really about tuning in and figuring out what your body's trying to tell you so that you can modify, adjust, do the things that you need to do to get back to those hard, sweaty workouts that make you feel like a badass.
Yes, which I mean, why not, right? But I think one of the coolest things is, like I was mentioning before, kind of unbeknownst to each one of us, we were looking at our cycles and we were trying to understand the wisdom that holds. And for me, thinking about what does this have to do with my nutrition, and for you, connecting the dots with the fitness side. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about why our cycles are so important to our overall well-being.
Yeah, well, I would say the most common thing I hear from my clients, from people in my community, is really struggling with this all or nothing mentality when it comes to exercise, especially if you're dealing with an injury or a pelvic floor issue, because maybe you feel good one day, so you're like motivated and you go at it hard, you get a hard workout in, and then you flare up your symptoms and it sets you back, and then you're not able to do anything for like a few days or a week, and then you feel good again, right? And we get stuck in this cycle. Or it's like, I only have time or I don't have time for like a full 30-minute workout right now. I'm just not going to do anything at all. Or I don't have the energy to go out and do this really hard workout. I'm not going to do anything at all. So they all kind of go hand in hand. And what I find is if we're really able to honor and recognize the way that our cycle affects our energy throughout the month and our motivation too. And what you're going to bring in is like what we're eating, how that also impacts our workouts. If we're able to just acknowledge, be like, you know what, I just started bleeding today. No wonder my energy is lower. I'm going to honor that and maybe do a light walk or a light yoga class or something different rather than pushing ourselves and beating ourselves up that you weren't able to go out and do this really hard workout that was on your schedule for the day or whatever that looks like.
Right. And I think this is so important because one, I feel like when it comes to talking about our cycles, there's almost like this taboo around talking about it. Like I remember when I was growing up, I felt like you had to hide that you were in the bleed phase of your cycle. You had to pretend that it didn't happen to you. And then, secondly, it's also this comparison of like, well, all the guys that I know are doing really hard workouts every single day. How come they can do it and I can't do it? And then it makes you feel guilty. It makes you feel ashamed, but you don't actually have to feel like that. And so this is really what Dr. Sam and I are trying to teach you, because there's when you have this incredible understanding of your own body, it allows you to not have that comparison mentality, and it allows you to really feel like you've unlocked your own potential.
Yes. And I will say too, from my perspective, especially with like back pain specifically or pelvic floor issues, this comes up too. But like especially during the bleed phase, typically it's so common to have an increase in symptoms. So, you know, a lot of us have back ache or cramps in our low back, but it can also, I've had a lot of clients who it flares up their like back spasms or their hip pain or other things. And so if we're able, like you said, to just tune in and make those connections, it just gives us a way to stop blaming our body and just be like, okay, this is what's happening right now. I know it's okay. And I know that next week it's going to be different and I can keep moving on.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so like I had said right at the beginning, Sam and I have an amazing new workshop coming up next Wednesday, 4:30 Pacific, 6:30 Central. And this is a workshop where we'll both be sharing really tangible tips that you can take away with you and start to implement immediately, to help you to understand your cycle and what does that mean for your health and well-being. So Dr. Sam, what can people expect to get from this workshop from you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be walking you through. I have a PDF tracker that I created to really help you and teach you how to track your cycle. And I do want to mention too, I've been getting a lot of questions. What if I'm on birth control or I'm breastfeeding? I don't have a cycle yet. There are still so many things that you can track, even if you don't have a traditional cycle. So I'm going to walk you through and teach you exactly how to do that, what to look for. And then I'm going to give you some ideas and specific workouts that you can try during each phase of your cycle. And we're also going to talk about too, just kind of managing some expectations of what you can expect and things to try. We're looking at it kind of just like a trial and error, so you can really find what works best for you.
I love that. It's going to be such an amazing opportunity as well, because there'll be time for Q&A. So if you have specific questions related to your cycle, or you're just trying to understand your own health better, then, I mean, come to the workshop, because we will be able to answer your questions directly. And so, I mean, that's going to be awesome, because you get Dr. Sam and you get me, and we're just going to like give you all the things.
It's going to be so fun. Did you already share what you're going to talk about in the
it's
workshop?
A secret. No, I'm kidding.
You got to show up to find out.
No, so similarly, I'm going to be breaking down each of the phases of your cycle and talking about what foods would help you during those particular phases, because our hormones are shifting and changing. Our energy levels are, in flux at different times during our phases. So what foods would help you during those times, as well as help to stave off some of those PMS symptoms that can be kind of annoying, and we don't want to have them all the time. So food actually has a really big impact on the symptoms. And I was actually talking to someone the other day, and she had no idea the impact that food can have on your symptoms. And she said to me, wow, if I had known that when I was starting to go through puberty, my whole experience of my period, of my cycle, would have been completely different.
Yeah. And I'm so excited to learn more from you too about like how we can fuel ourselves during those phases, because that for sure is going to impact the type of workouts that you're going to want to do.
Definitely. Such a great point. Okay, so where can people go to sign up for the workshop?
So we'll share a link. We have a special discount for your Facebook group that we're going to share, and it's all ready to go. So we'll just share the link in the post.
Yeah, so I'll put the link in the comments as well as your special discount code, which is just for this group. So don't tell anyone. But it'll be so great to see you guys there. If you have any questions at all, drop them here in the comments and make sure to connect with Sam because she has the most amazing content and help, especially for women that are feeling any pain in their lower backs or any pelvic floor issues too. So thank you, Sam, so much for being here.
Thank you. So fun. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye guys. We'll see you later.